My friends, welcome back to this week's weekend special. Over the last 3 weeks, I have built a fan cage, and a fan stand. This week, I want to build the whole fan and make this fan a complete object. So I noticed that in my last week's build, I placed this stand in the center of the cage, which does not represent what it is in the actual reality. So I'm going to take a moment and um, correct that action. So what I want to do is I want to take the lid, take this shell, name that shell quick, and move it like about, say, on Y. I want to move it Y side. Let's go with 5, maybe a little bit more, 10. Yeah, that's more like it. It's at the edge of the shell, so that's what I wanted it to be. So I moved it 10. I'm gonna go ahead and actually make this transparency 0, and then move it on the Y side and as well. So that way both of these are at the same place. Now I can go ahead and make the entire thing. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make this thing a one object, and that's the lid, and then finally make both of those one object, say fan stack. So we'll have to have only one object in this each build. That way, when we do work on our assembly, it will be easier for us. All right, I want to now see actually if these three parts fit in together. Before I do that, I will be working on A2 plus workbench. More on that in a minute. Before I actually go work on that one, I want to see how these three objects fit in. Perfect. I know that I'll have to make a round end here before that. So what I want to do, I want to take the fan housing, and so this is the one that I want to pull in. I'm gonna go ahead and select that, right? Then come here on the bottom. You can see on the bottom side. So I kept this housing selected. Come here on the stand one, fan stand, and without pressing anything, select make link. So what I did was that fan housing was selected over there, and then come to this file and then make. To be able to do that, we will have to have all these components open in the same FreeCAD window. Alright, so here is that link. Now we have it linked. The object is not here, the link is only. I'm gonna go ahead and then make few adjustments, see actually if it is fitting in right. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this like 90-degree. So my target would be to place this hole match. Alright, so that's the ultimate goal, to match the hole, that pivot point. We did that. Now I can see one problem, two problems. I see this edge is too big. Fan is kinda very touchy. Might be a little too short. So we'll have to update that. Let's see how this. Okay, we'll have to update here too. Alright, so right away I can see that I'll have to do some work on this fan stand. I'm gonna go ahead and then explode it up again. And I will be working on the stand. So let me go ahead and then break that up again. Alright, So I want to make this hole a little bit above. If I go back and see, this is the cut that I did. So there would be the cylinder. I'm going to show that, make the extrude visible. I'm going to go ahead and take that cylinder a little above than what it is. Right? I wish I kept trace of how much I'm going up. So go ahead and make it say 2 millimeters and go. So that's 2, that's 4 millimeters. I went up 4 millimeter. All right. Now I can go ahead and hide. Now while I'm here, hide the housing. Let me go ahead and then make these. So let's see how this cut. Okay, so the hole moved up. Maybe this is the best time to make this fillet. I know that I won't be doing anything else on this one. I can go ahead and make a fillet. Say for now, I'm gonna go ahead with 5 millimeter. I probably can go a little bit more than 5 millimeter. Go say 7. Yes, that's more like it. So this is the column, the and that's the lead. These two becomes our fan. All right. So now we know that the shell, this is exactly what we have in the picture. Pretty close clearance. I guess I'd have to correct this sketch too. All right. So our stand is ready. Now let's go ahead and work on our fan. So with the same idea, I will go select the fan here and then come to fan stand, right? And then say make a link. I can see that the fan blades are touching the cover, this middle rim, pretty close. I want to clear that area. I'm gonna go ahead and then actually edit the fan housing. That would be, yep, it would be this extrude offset. I think I said -8. How about I make it minus? All right, it take a minute to update the sketch. I'm gonna go ahead save it. Let's see how it is reflected in here. Now as you can see, it's a pretty clear area. I see this model a little showing your broken down area here. I'm hoping when I close this file and then reopen, it will just act like normal thing. So I think this model is ready for assembly. So I created a new file as fan assembly, and I'll be using A2 Plus Workbench to assemble my files. If you don't have A2 Plus Workbench, you can go ahead and then install it from add-on manager. Let's go ahead and add our shapes from the external file. I want to select my first one as the fan stand. Go ahead and then select the fan stand and import it there. All right, we got our first one, which is always the fixed one. Now let's go ahead and then open fan housing and select fan housing from there. I want to add that. All right, so it's asking me, so it took a minute to actually show because it's a large object. So for now, let's go ahead and then place it in there. All right, what I want to do now is place this one in relationship with this stand. I have two objects. We will worry about the fan in a minute. But for now, what I want to do, I want to place this cylinder in the middle of here. The one way to do it is to take this circular edge at the end to match it with this circular edge. So I selected this circular edge, control click this circular edge, and come here and say add circular edge constraint. That's what I want to do. All right, so it's now added the circular edge constraint. I want to see if there is any clearance left for me to actually wiggle around. It's pretty tight, so no offset needed. I'm gonna say X. All right, I want to add the fan in the middle. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull in another shape from the fan. Take the fan and bring it in. Okay, keep it there for now. Okay, so I want to place that fan in the middle. I also want to place it the center. So finding the center might be a tough. Take this plane and take this plane and say add center of mass constraint. Right, so that way it's there. I want to offset it by say 3 millimeter. Let's see how far it is. So the fan is there touching. I wanted to have a little clearance, to go with -10. From here, fresh. So that is now work. Alright, that's what I wanted to do. Now that I have 3 parts added minimum, I can go ahead and then move this one like this. Me place here, maybe just like this. Right, so I can come here and say move the selected part under constraint. Select this, and I can move it. FreeCAD does not have readily available anything to limit the movement, so it goes through the column, but that's impractical. It will actually, the best it will can come up to this point. We can see how we can move the object under constraint just like this. All right. That was pretty intense for me actually to go through 4 weekends and build this object, animate it in A2 Plus. I hope you liked this journey of building a complex object in FreeCAD and compiling it into the bigger object and also assembling it in Plus Workbench. As I said earlier, in the next weekend, I will be working on the long camera hand. So that will be another experience. It may take 2 weekends to finish. Other than that, if you have any other projects in your mind that I can work on the weekend special, please let me know. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.